I think we're going to do that or something, but let's pollute a little bit. Ahoy, salty dogs! I'm Lenscap, and today we're playing StarMade on the Star Squadron server. This is episode number 8. Last time I said it was episode number 8, but it was not. Ridiculous. Anyway, yeah, our tree has leaves. Check it out. What do you think? We'll talk about that in a second. It was suggested to me as a result of our previous episode about the transporters. I had an idea that I wanted all of the rooms in the base to be connected by teleporters, by transporters. But I wanted only certain transporters to be able to connect to certain rooms, right? So kind of like you had a hub, and then this transporter would connect to this one, and this one vice versa. But we couldn't, for example, go from this one to one over there, or the one that's up in the floating island. It was suggested I trigger these, which there's not a way to do that, as far as I can tell. But it was suggested that I can trigger these with logic. You cannot. If you stand on the pad, you can hit this button as many times as you want. It is tied into, if you hit C, you can look at it with V. This activation module does nothing. If we look into the transporter thing, I've named it Test 1. I do not have public access. I have it already targeted to Test 2. If we hit Activate, we're standing on the pad, of course. Okay, now we transported over to the other test teleporter. There's gravity in the middle. To kind of fix that, you have to have gravity after you teleport. Okay, so we transported here. If we look at this one, it's set up the same way but backwards, so it goes there. That's as close as I could get. So these two tie into each other. All you have to do is hit R on it and hit Activate. Logic again, here's a button on this side. Does nothing. So, and you can see it's tied in properly. So that's kind of sucks. If we hit this one and we activate it, of course, we'll go back to that one. Okay, so that's half of what I wanted, right? That's easy. It's one button. But if we run over to the other transporter over here, even though public access is not turned on, I still can see those transporters from here, from like this box. I think it's too far away from up there. We can look. But that's pretty far. I mean, that's, so I don't know if that idea is going to fly, just because, like, the range of these things is so large. So, yeah, here's test 1 and 2. So you can see both of them, even though over there, so I didn't have public access turned on. I believe it's because they're on the same structure. That you can, of course, teleport to the same structure no matter what. And I wanted a way to kind of override that. Let's check out the tree. So, let's see, where are we here? Way over here. So I did some work on the tree. Yeah, I added leaves to the canopy. And I think it looks pretty good. Do I still have my leaves on me? So I kind of have been just kind of spamming leaves. I did the same thing I did with the space station I made a while ago, where I just made a bunch of blocks, a bunch of cubes, like larger cubes. I think I did 6x6 or something, and then kind of spammed those until I got a general shape for what I wanted. And then I just kind of filled it out with individual blocks. Just kind of placed them randomly, looking around like I'm doing now, anywhere that looks a little bit like it's a square or two square, or, you know, just kind of whatever, like this spot. I'm adding blocks to, and kind of filling it out a little bit. There's a hole here, but we're not going to worry about holes. Yeah, there's a big hole here. We're not going to worry about holes, though, because I think we're going to build something inside of it. One of our rooms. So we'll be hollowing it out, basically, kind of, something like that. You'll see soon enough. I did like the way the branches underneath blend in, but I feel like they could be a little bit longer. So I'm thinking we're going to extend these branches out, maybe this one to here and this one to here. Keep them visible underneath, and that'll kind of let us see a little bit more about the shape of the tree as well. Just kind of add some structure underneath, especially if we're going to put a room in there. We definitely want it to feel like that room is supported by something. So we're going to use the branches for that. I was also thinking that we definitely should build something inside this. Check this out too. There's the sun, so we can see well from this angle. But if we fly through, I'm going to fly through to the other side. You can see through the leaves, which is really cool. So if you catch it at the right angle, you'll even be able to see our room inside of there. And that's going to be neat. But we're not going to work on that today. I'm done building trees for now. Today we're going to hop out of the build block. Well, no, actually, we need to be in the build block. Today we're going to dismantle this because it's a mess and put it somewhere else. We do need a place for the power on our plate. And I don't really want to... we're trying to go with like a jungly theme, right? Which we haven't really progressed very far in that direction, but a big power module thing right in the middle of the jungle right there isn't going to work. Unless we make it like a giant flower or something. That could be really cool, actually. Interesting. I'll have to think about that one a little bit further. But what I was going to do was just pick it up and build it somewhere else. Maybe over here. Kind of in this little hole here. But we were going to build it up so that it looks like a nuclear power plant. Like the smokestacks from a nuclear power plant. I thought that would be a cool idea. And then I know nuclear energy is very clean energy, so this isn't like realistic or anything, but maybe pollute the area around. Find some, just a bunch of dirt, not grass, and maybe some other stuff that we could make it look irradiated and polluted. In fact, we could somehow incorporate this lava flow idea into the nuclear plant. Maybe we make a river that goes all the way through. Oh man, what a cool idea. So we're doing that for sure. Let's get started. So here's the battery sitting in the bottom of the smokestack. It gets us 1,100,000 total power available, which is pretty decent. And we can add on to this some more if we need to. So next we're going to do the power reactors. I've got the symmetry plane set, so it makes it easy. But we're just going to kind of lay these out like this. And how tall are we going to make it? I'm not sure yet. Pretty tall. Maybe not that tall. Maybe that tall. Yeah, we'll call it like that. Okay, so that's the first bit of our power. Now we're getting 41,000 per second, which is pretty quick. But we should be able to speed this up a little bit if we add further like stacks of reactor modules. I think we're going to want to go up to, we're at 50,000. I think we're going to want to at least double that. So there we go. That gets us to 76. It looks like we should be able to fit in one more. And that should get us to the power capacity and generation that we're looking for. This system is going to have a lot of room left over, so we'll have plenty of room for expansion for sure. That puts us at 100,000. Yeah, I think we're going to stop there, and now we're going to shape the kind of smokestack shape next. So here it is, the power reactor smokestack anyway. I like it. It needs some smoothing though, and then it'll look really good. Okay, so let's check it out. First, we want to look at it from some angles. Let's turn off these symmetry planes for a moment. We might turn it back on. So let's take a look at it. Okay. Yeah, it feels like a reactor smokestack. It needs smoke coming out of it. I think the top maybe flared out a little bit too far. Maybe we drop it down a level. I'm thinking it's too much on top. Yeah, that's a lot better. Okay, so now that we've got a smokestack shape, eventually I'll learn how to say this word. I was thinking it would be cool. We wanted to incorporate the lava pool, right? That was an idea we had earlier. So let's just fill this with lava. And instead of being a smokestack, it's going to be a reservoir. I mean, it doesn't have to be like a nuclear power plant, just because it is shaped similarly. Okay, that should fill us up. Wow, half of us. Okay, so we're gonna have to do over here as well. And then we got to figure out kind of what we're gonna do about the energy sticking up. I mean, do we just cut it off? I think we're just gonna cut it off probably. There's not a lot of power generated from that. So let's cut it off and see what we lose. We're at 1.1. And now we're at still 100,000. And we were at, okay, whatever. I wasn't paying attention. I was looking at the wrong number. Anyway, that's what we got. What do we think? Yeah, that's cool. That's okay. Can we cut it back even into there? Or is that block important to the shape? It's important to the shape. So that won't work. But now how do we get the lava from here over there, right? How do they just connect? We need a crack in this, I'm thinking. So maybe... Oh, nope. We definitely don't want symmetric cracks. I'm thinking a big one right here. And then it can kind of flow down this way. Maybe down here and then into there somewhere. So our crack, let's start it here. And it'll open up a little bit more. Maybe down. Yeah, that'll be good. Let's undo that block though. Like that. And now we kind of want to make it feel cracked. So we're going to use the same kind of technique that we use when we're decorating our spaceships. So that, nope, that's not the right shape. We want this one. And I'm afraid it's going to look almost too much like a lightning bolt, but we'll see. It might end up okay. It'll probably be okay. It'll probably be fine. But we wanted to hide this stuff. Oh, you know what? For this, we want one of these, I think. Like that. No, but close. Like that one. Yeah. Yeah, like that. And that'll look cracked. Let's get this here. That'll work. And then the rest we're just going to have maybe... No. And the rest will have lava pouring out of it. So the next step is to make it look like this thing is full of lava. We're going to have to delete one of those, but that's fine. Okay. And we can't put one there, but we can do... Nope, not there. How do I get on the outside of that? Like that? How's that look? No, that's not going to work. We'll have to make this a different way. We need to put a lava block here. And then we can put something like... maybe like that there. So it looks like it's like rent open, like it's metal. In fact, let's replace a couple more of these with that idea, because that's a cool idea. Let's place down our lava here. It's seeping out. We'll put one there. How much of this space do we want to fill up with lava here? How long has this been open? We definitely want a little bit of a pool. Do we want more of a pool than that? Should we fill up the whole space? I'm not sure. We'll have to figure it out as we work. I'm just kind of tidying up a few spots that apparently were missed. And looks good over here, but I'm thinking we might just replace that with grass. Okay, anyway, let's get back to the task at hand. We want to make this look torn and rent open. That there, that works. And can we do something about this block, maybe? What can we make this? We could do the triangle one. The corner? I very rarely use these. This block. If we can put the back, there we go, like that. Yeah, that works. That holds well. Let's put some more of these kind of rent open feeling guys. There and there. They match really well with that. Okay, maybe we do one here. Like that, and maybe one... can we do... yeah, like that. That looks good. Oh man, this is coming together really nicely. Yes. Okay, so now we're going to work on the lava river a little bit. It kind of looks like mac and cheese. So there's mac and cheese coming out. We're powered on mac and cheese. Whatever that means. I don't know that it needs to be more than this. That looks good on its own. And then maybe we do something else with these. Oh, the sand, right. We need to kill the grass. Let's not use sand, actually. Let's find, maybe we'll find that purple dirt. I think that would be cool. We also might want to fill this up all the way. Or... maybe add the wedges in on top as well. I think we're going to do that, or something, but let's pollute a little bit. So I don't know about you guys, but I have never seen a nuclear smokestack that didn't have this crazy white, really thick, dense smoke coming out of it. So I used ice. I figured, first of all, it looks pretty good. It kind of looks like that thick smoke you would get. And with the lava underneath, it really adds a cool lighting effect. And also, lava plus ice. I thought that was just kind of ironic that that was the building material I chose. So here we've got our cool reactor. And we've got some cool smokestack. I think we're going to start polluting the ground around it next. But we're going to have to save that for next time. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you liked the video, leave a like. If you really liked it, subscribe to my channel. We're playing StarMade and stuff. And we'll see you in the next one. Stay tuned.